Essential gear is what's relative to you. If you're a running minimalist, then Godspeed. Take your clothes off and run naked. I don't care. Feeling a little froggy today. Let's go. What's up, everybody? This is Tucker and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, this channel is for all things ultra running and adventure travel, anything that gets you out there experiencing the great, wonderful world that we live in. Today, we are talking about essential gear for every trail runner. We're gonna keep it simple and focus only the things that are essential. About 10 years ago, I picked up Greg McKeown's book, Essentialism, and it kind of changed my life. It is the idea that our life opens up when we focus on what is most essential. In the book, the basic philosophy is built around this quote. It's not about how much you get done, it's about getting the right things done. So today we are going to use that philosophy towards our running gear, knowing that we are going to use the right type of running gear, not just the quantity of it, seeking to accumulate more. A few points of note as we jump into it. Each item of this gear is going to depend based on your environment and your preference, the terrain on which you choose to run. Every item of gear that you use is going to be specific to the terrain that you usually run on. As you probably know, there are all types of outdoor gear companies, and they all try to sell you products, and all those products fit a range of cost and need. Personally, I end up investing a little bit more to get a premium product because I know when I find something I like, I am going to use it year after year after year. That is my preference, but go ahead and choose how you prefer. And the last point, essential gear is what's relative to you. If you're a running minimalist, then Godspeed. Take your clothes off and run naked. I don't care. Oh yeah, and all these items are going to be listed in the description below. I've added links so you'll be able to click through them, search them, do price comparisons. If there's one that interests you, go ahead and use that link. You can try it there. Okay, let's get into it. Starting with the basics. Proper trail shoes. Now I say proper trail shoes because these are going to be specific to the types of trail that you run on and the type of running that you like to do. Are you a minimalist runner? Do you like a lot of cushion? If your trails are really technical, rooty, rocky, maybe muddy, then you're going to want a really good heavy lug on the sole and something that wicks a lot of moisture. But if you're in a place that has flat, non-technical trails, then lugs really don't matter to you and you can get something very, very simple and very light. But generally speaking, the more technical the terrain, the beefier the trail running shoe is going to be. Next is our hydration vest. Now this also depends on how long you like to run. If you like going out for a few miles, then you don't need anything. But if you're going to go out there for a few hours at a time, you will need hydration and fuel to go with you. So that's why I say a hydration vest is an essential gear item. I prefer Salomon myself. I find that their gear is incredibly durable and fits my body the way that I like it. I like running with bottles as opposed to a bladder on my back. Now if I'm going out for a long time, I will do both. But that really depends on your preference. When I first started, I actually ran with bottles at my hips and then found out that after a while there were better options, and then I graduated to a bladder on my back. I got a Camelback. From there I graduated to hard bottles on my chest, and now I have soft flasks. And that was all just depending on trial and error. And the third items we just briefly mentioned are bottles or a bladder. Regardless of how long you're going, you're going to need to hydrate at some point. For shorter distances, all you need is something light, and for longer distances you're going to need some more water. Sometimes a handheld bottle is really the only amount of hydration that you need. Next, we have a watch or a fitness tracker. Now you technically don't need this. This is not an essential gear, but I am adding it to the list because we live in a modern era where people like tracking their fitness. And if you are just getting started and are not interested in racing and just like going out, honestly, you don't need this. There are many days where I will go out on the trail without a watch or without my phone for a nice, casual, enjoyable run. But I do think that this is an essential item for people who are looking to improve as a runner, to grow, to get faster, to get stronger, to go longer distances. Because when you can track what you're doing, then you can measure it over time. My preference is Coros. I love these watches. This is my third one in 7 years, but there are all sorts of great watches that match the quality and durability of a watch like this. I happen to like it because they're really affordable and the battery lasts forever. If you wanted to just track without having the watch, you could use something like a Whoop or a Fitbit. That's your tracker right there. Even more essential than that, also depending on where you are, is a hat or a visor. I almost never go out without a hat. I sweat a lot and I've got really spongy hair that just soaks it up, so I like having something to control it. So I use a hat with a really good sturdy sweatband in there. This was my Vermont 100 finisher hat from 2016, and I probably had 4 Patagonia duckbill hats. I know I look like a loser in it, but I don't really care because they work. I got this last year. I really like Salomon. If you're in a cold area, you're probably going to use a beanie half the year. Where I am right now, I mostly use hats. And next, sticking with apparel, talking about a lightweight shell. I do put this on an essential list because depending on the day, you may need this. Even in hot areas, you're going to want something like a shell to cover up or give you some shade if necessary. carry. And if you're in a rainy or drizzly area, you're also going to maybe want something for rain coverage. That's why I have two options here. Both of these are small enough to be able to carry in a pack if I need to. This one I actually just even squeeze into my pocket. That is that. Okay, we are somewhere on our way through this list. I don't know where. If you find this helpful, please go ahead and hit that like button. And as I said, you can find all these items and like comparisons to them in the description below. All right, moving on. Next item, we are talking about sunscreen. I probably wouldn't have put this on my essential running list a decade ago, but after running trails for now almost 18 years, I find that sunscreen is almost as important as the shoes themselves. Obviously not as important, but if you go out on a hot summer sunny day, or even a winter sunny day without proper sunscreen, it can ruin your weekend, I will tell you. This is just a face lotion. I also have a body cream, but I like this one because when I use it on my face and I have to wipe sweat off, sip from my bottle, or tear a gel, that I don't get that flavor of lotion in my mouth, which can also ruin your day too. Sunscreen, just like the song said, wear your sunscreen. Next, speaking of sun, sunglasses. Roads, where we're going, we don't need any roads. That was the worst Doc Brown impression ever. I'm so sorry. I don't think I need to describe what these are. Regardless of where you are, you probably need sunglasses. I personally don't invest a lot into my sunglasses. I have bought really nice sunglasses in the past, but they'll scratch or they'll break or drop them on a rock on the trail. They just become useless. I do have a pair of Pit Vipers, but most of what I run in are Gooders. Gooders are affordable. They're 25, 35 bucks. Why Gooder? I like them. They don't last forever, but they do last about as long as I would get out of any other pair of shades. And last but not least, our hydration and fuel. I am not going to get into every item that you could possibly use out there on the trail to fuel and hydrate. I just put it on the list because it is essential. If you're going to run for a while, you're going to sweat and you need energy. That's what this stuff is all about. I will leave my suggestions in the description below. Check them out, try them, and let me know what you think. There you have it. That is on my list of items that I consider essential for every trail runner. They are basically every item that I put in my kit bag every time I'm traveling somewhere and I know I'm going to hit a trail. This does not speak to all the other items you could potentially buy. The gaiters for sand on your shoes, body glide, not even to speak of poles. All the questions that we could ask about attire, running singlets, tops, shorts, headphones, arm sleeves, bandanas, all these extra things that we could consider. This is my list of suggested items. Go out and find what works for you and use them. But the point is that we use these items just to get out on the trail. So find what is essential and go enjoy running. One note before you go, as a coach, I help people find what's essential in their life, helping to partner with people to identify what's essential so that they might live their passions to the fullest. If that's something you could find a benefit from, contact me through Instagram or through my website below. I'd love to connect with you, give you a free sample session. That is it for today. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and hit subscribe to get more videos like this. I wish you all the best. Safe travels, happy trails. Take care.